Hello everyone, Gamer Ninja here, and welcome to another Ninja Rant. I really wish I didn't have to do this, or feel like this was actually kinda necessary, but this is me trying not to blow up at any one person in a chat room on Pokemon Showdown. Because I'm seeing a lot of bullshit. To be perfectly honest, it's a load of shit what I'm seeing. Like, complete and utter bullshit that I'm seeing. As some of you might have known, Mega Mawile just got banned. And to be quite honest, it needed to happen. I'm honestly surprised that it got banned after AJ Slash and got suspected after AJ Slash. I think Mega Mawile was arguably a bigger problem than AJ Slash. But that's my opinion. But Mega Mawile is like kinda ridiculous. I'm gonna pull up its stats real quick. Well, let's just hold on. Maybe I'll do a Pokemon of the Week on it next time. But no, Mega Mawile just. I was really happy when I heard that Mega Mawile was coming out. I was so happy that it was going to actually be used, and the fact that it was actually going to be a somewhat decent Pokemon, and I could see it being really, really strong. I was so happy because when 3rd Gen came out, I thought the thing was absolutely adorable. I thought it was a really cool Pokemon. I thought it was absolutely adorable, and it was so cool that it got a Mega Evolution, and I was happy to see that it actually got something from it, not like Mega Houndoom, which, to be quite honest right now, is complete and utter trash. Sorry, I know some of my friends really like Houndoom, but it is true. It's pretty bad. It's not even its fault. It's more the fact that it has an ability it can't use on its own. But anyway, I digress. Looking at Mawile stats, they're pretty unimpressive. This is ordinary Mawile, mind you. It has 58 base HP, 85 base attack, 85 defense, 55 special attack, 55 special defense, and 50 speed. Yeah, this thing's pretty weak, but it does get Intimidate, which is really, really nice. And Berry and Steel is a ridiculous defensive typing. So it's got a defensive ability, and arguably one of the best for a pre-evolution, or pre-Mega Evolution, because when it Mega Evolves, it loses that ability. And it also can get Hyper Cutter, which is also really nice. But it also has one of the best, arguably, actually, without a doubt, the best defensive typing in the entire series right now. Oh, it's weak to ground and fire? Yeah, like, if you're not packing resistances to those already, and then you probably deserve to lose to Earthquake everywhere. I'm sorry, you should have a ground resist / immunity. You should have a fire resist / immunity. And honestly, with the advent of Healing Wish Latias, which by the way is freaking awesome, it was literally probably the perfect partner with Mawile. But anyway, let's get on to Mega Mawile, and let's look at its stats. 50 HP. Okay, that's pretty poor. 105 base attack. Hey, we actually have an attack stack worth a damn. 125 defense. Hey, I can take some hits now. 95 special defense. I can take more hits. And 50 speed. Okay, the 50 speed is a bit of a letdown. But then you realize it gets huge power. So that base 105 attack suddenly becomes a base 210 attack. That is freaking insane. It is so much damage for no good reason. In fact, that thing is has almost double Arceus's base attack. In fact, it's Sucker Punch. Mawile gets Sucker Punch, so there goes the speed problem. But Mega Mawile's Sucker Punch out damages Mega Arceus's extreme speed when it's boosted by a Silk Scarf. That's not even counting if Mega Mawile manages to get a Sword Stance, which wouldn't be too hard with those types of defenses. That's enough defense that it can take a couple of hits and set up and then proceed to wreck everything. And not to mention, it has an Intimidate boost on the switch-in when it's a normal Mawile. So now that we've determined that it's already defensive enough that it can easily set up, let's talk about what it actually does. Now, in competitive Pokemon, there are several terms that are several roles that a Pokemon can fill. There's a lead, which is sort of fallen out of favor, but every now and then you run into a lead Pokemon. Lead Pokemon are basically suiciders. You send them in, hopefully get something done, and make your entire teams easier, but it will die in the process. You have tanks, which are basically big, bulky things that can do some damage. Usually, they're designed to deal with specific threats. Walls, which are very more defensive and are basically designed to be annoying little pink blobs, because pink blobs are basically what define tank right now. Clerics, which are basically healers and support type things. And you have sweepers, who are basically your cleanup crew and designed to kill off everything once the entire enemy team's been weakened. And then we have wall breakers. Wall breakers are things that either have good enough offenses on both special and physical attack stats that it can literally plow through any wall that comes in its way. Or they just have so much in one stat that any wall, even if it's designed to take hits from that end of the spectrum, it's not going to be happy taking it anyway. And out of these, and then there's Revenge Killer, which are basically you come in and you kill one thing and then you get out. And then you repeat the process. It's designed to pick up a kill if a Pokemon dies due to bullshit. Anyway, what Mega Mawile can do is... Okay. One of the most popular sets on Mega Mawile is Swords Dance, Play Rough, Sucker Punch, and Fire Fang, Ice Fang, whatever. That alone means that it can sweep, thanks to its defensive stats and its high damage, especially once it gets a Sword Stance. I believe Skarmory is 2-hit KO'd, after Sturdy, of course. And, yeah, Chansey's not going to be living through a +2 Play Rough coming from base 210 attack. And it's not only a sweeper, but because of its base 210 attack, it's also a wall breaker. So we have something that can not only sweep entire teams, but any walls that come in to try to stop its sweep are not going to be happy staying in. Now, there are some checks to Mega Mawile. In fact, there's quite a few, honestly, there are. But one of the more quote-unquote popular checks is Heatran. And Heatran's a fine Pokemon, I love it. But I'm literally forced to run Will-O-Wisp, or I will lose to this thing horribly. And that's assuming that it's a Swords Dance set, because it also runs a substitute Focus Punch set sometimes, which completely obliterates Heatran, because I come in, it sets up a substitute, I go fuck, and then I eat freaking everything to the face, and die in one shot. And then it, again, can sweep through teams thanks to Sucker Punch. It can wall break, and it's not bad defensively either, so revenge killing it's really hard. With Substitute, it's protected from statuses. It's just a really, really strong Pokemon. And it was so strong that people were running things like Weezing in OU, which was really bad because one of Mawile's best partners is Latias with Healing Wish, and Latias can pack Psychic or Psyshock to deal tons of damage, and even if Mega Mawile gets burned, Healing Wish comes in and then blah 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 blah. So, one of the big issues that I've noticed with this is that fact that people are saying that Mega Mawile didn't deserve the ban, and that Smogon is just banning everything for no good reason. And when you think about the roles that a Pokemon fills, we have a tank, we have a sweeper, and we have a wall breaker, all in one Pokemon right here, with very little variation on set, and it just does way too much damage and does for very little risk. And it's back to the Aegislash thing. People are complaining, and it's ridiculous that they're not understanding it. People are saying Smogon wants to buff up Stall. Yes, Mega Mawile was a problem for Stall. But without Mega Mawile, now people are running freaking Mega Medicham and freaking Mega Heracross, which are arguably worse against Stall. But because Mega Mawile was so good against more teams other than Stall, literally balanced teams had trouble against Mega Mawile because of its huge damage. Stall teams could only carry so many walls to deal with this thing, and if it got set up, it was 6-0'd anyway. And Hyper Offense, this thing stalls out Hyper Offense thanks to its natural bulk in most cases, and then proceeds to rip through them anyway because they're not going to have much in terms of tankiness. It was just a really, really poor situation for any team other than something that was carrying literally physically defensive Mega Charizard Y. Let's see here. What else could all this thing? Heatran could kind of work, assuming it wasn't the Sub-Punch set. And let's take a look, see here. Oh, Mega Venusaur with Hidden Power Fire and Leech Seed could possibly take a few shots from this thing. Possibly. But that's 3 Pokemon. Now, let's look at this again from another way. What people don't seem to understand is that Mega Mawile isn't going to be in a one-on-one situation in most cases. It's going to be a 5v5, a 6v6 situation where I can switch out and I can do all sorts of things. With that in mind, Ordinary Mawile already has Intimidate, so I can keep switching it in and out on physical threats and do all sorts of shenanigans there, and threaten the Mega Evolution, but I don't have to immediately Mega Evolve, although if I suspect you're switching, there's no doubt I'm going to either Sub or Sword Stance and Mega Evolve and punch you in the face. But it's so annoying to hear people complaining about bans that, and okay, I understand that people are upset that it's gone. I understand that, and I understand that it was a good Pokemon. I understand it was a fun Pokemon, but people are saying they're quitting Pokemon because it's gone? Really? You're really doing this? I've been seeing arguments that it's going to do terrible in Ubers, Smogon's high for thinking it's going to do well in Ubers. To which I'm going to reply, that has nothing to do with why it's being sent to Ubers. What else have I seen? Someone made a comment that Mega Mawile was Christ and that Smogon was the Antichrist, and I'm not going to even get started in that type of bullshit. It's just so infuriating to see well-constructed arguments being made by people who were for the ban get completely ignored by people who, quite frankly, don't really understand the game to a degree where they can make the call that something should be banned or not. This thing was a huge problem. It wasn't a Mega Gengar level problem, which I don't know why it took them so long to ban that damned thing, but it was a huge issue. And it was just too much. It really was too much. I don't want to sound like I'm bashing people who feel that Mega Mawile shouldn't be banned. I'm not saying that that's an uneducated opinion. I am saying that if you're going to complain about something, have an argument beyond Smogon sucks, they're banning everything. Although, I'll be brutally honest, I honestly think that these bans coming out this quickly is kind of ridiculous. We've barely had enough time without Aegislash. I don't think we really needed this one to come quite so soon. But what do I know? I also think that Landorus I should get the bucket too. It's just too strong. But that's neither here nor there. Well, TLDR, or too long didn't listen, I guess. TLDL. Mega Mawile was a threat. Smug and Bandit people are whiny bitches and have no arguments really against it. Now again, if you have a logical argument as to why it shouldn't have been banned, that's fine. And I will respect that. And even if I can't change your mind, that's fine. But I've gotten literally attacked for trying to explain why Mega Mawile was a problem and why it was suspected and why it was banned. I personally have literally gotten PMs about why the fuck was Mega Mawile banned. You're voiced in the OU chat room, you're a fucking scrub and all that stuff. Which, by the way, I am actually kind of bad. Although I am getting better. But it's uh, just from my previous experiences with Pokemon, I can look at this thing and say this thing was a tier 1 threat. In fact, it was so high on the tier list, it probably would not be out of the question to go Uber. I saw this thing going Uber right next to Mega Kangaskhan right when it came out. I hoped it didn't, but I saw it coming. Anyway, I feel a lot better now, actually. It's amazing what doing a little bit of ranting can do. Anyway, I'm sorry about all the hate, guys. I'm normally not this upset about something, but when I'm literally getting attacked about this, it's kind of stupid. Anyway, I'm the Gamer Ninja, and I hope you enjoyed this video and understand why Mega Mawile was banned a little bit better. They've even, like, in the OU room, they've even posted something explaining why it was banned. And it's a really good article. In fact, I'm going to post a link to that shit in the description of this video. It was a really good article. If you don't understand what I'm saying, this person will probably explain it better. I'm literally going to copy and paste the link for it, and please read that. If you honestly don't think that Mega Mawile should have been banned, read that. And if you still think it shouldn't have been banned, come up with an argument for it not being banned and post it, and let's have a discussion about it. Anyway, I'm the Gamer Ninja. Thank you for watching, and I am out of here.